Hello there, I'm Nat Wallen. Thank you so much for watching my Charleston real estate videos and for taking the time to subscribe to this channel. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I like to showcase Charleston. I have a 2-hour drone tour of the entire area, so if you haven't seen it, I'll link it up at the end. Now in this video, I'm also going to showcase Charleston, but I'm going to do it in a different way. Rather than show you the place, let me share with you some of the people. That's the best part about Charleston. This will help you plug into the community if you're new, and it will also help you with your online interactions too. It's pretty cool. So the goal here is 5 minutes or less, and well, this one's pretty unique, so stay until the end and well, let's jump into it. Hello there, Nat Wallen. Like I said, I've been selling homes here in Charleston, South Carolina since 1995, and that's a long time, since I got out of college. That was when Microsoft Windows first started. Now, I remember my first camera, it was a Sony Mavica, and it actually had a floppy disk in it. And if you don't know what that is, well, a floppy disk, well then good for you. That means you're still very, very young. Now, photography. It has become such a big part of our culture. We all have incredible cameras right here in our phone, and well, the world is producing more and more photos every second, more so than any time in history. But well, let's slow it down for a few minutes and turn the camera around for a bit and step in front of it. So let me explain. I'm part of an entrepreneurial group here in Charleston called A Million Cups. 1 Million Cups started in Kansas City in 2012 as a group of like-minded entrepreneurs were meeting to share their ideas and support each other, a think tank of sorts. They would meet for coffee once a week and brainstorm. Well, since then, it's grown to over 160 cities, and the Charleston Million Cups is where I met Paolo Ciccone. Now, Paolo is a portrait photographer here, and he spoke to the group about the importance of a good online presence, especially in today's environment. Now, I don't know about you, but my early memories of portrait photography takes me back to J.C. Penney's and little fluffy bunnies and hay bales, and even the dreaded yearbook photos that we had to do every year for school. But Paolo's talk was different. It wasn't about ponies and cheesy barnyard settings. It was about LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Relevant stuff. It was a reminder of how I spend most of my days and was a reminder about the importance of making a good first impression. Let me take a look at his website here. Let's see some examples. So as you can see, these are fresh and these have personality and they're clean and they're focused and they're really well done and they don't have a lot of background distraction. And I kind of liked what I saw when I first visited DreamlightImages.com, and well, I set an appointment with him, and then I visited him at his studio in West Ashley. Now, Paolo told me to bring 2 sets of clothes and nothing with too much pattern on it. And the first 5 or 10 minutes we spent chatting about cameras while he worked on setting up the lighting. And as we got shooting, well, I got more comfortable with the process. We were just having a nice conversation, and I opened up to him about my sun-damaged face. I grew up surfing here every day, and sunscreen was not a thing in the 80s. And Paolo assured me that everyone has these thoughts, and he proceeded to share with me his blemishes. And well, the point is that we're all human, and he really downplayed the concern as something he's especially good at handling. And if that's holding you back from good photography, don't worry about it. So I told him, of course, just don't look too closely at my face, and he laughed and we kept going. And then we changed the background from white to a nice gray, which turned out to be my favorite photo. I'll show you here. We then got into the selection process and were able to take a few hundred pictures down to about 30 very quickly. We talked about each one, and then we settled on these 2, one with a white background and one with a gray background. Now, this was a great process, and I asked Paolo if I could make a short video, and he was nice enough to say yes. So about a week later, I recruited my good friend and guitar teacher, Teves, and we headed over to Dreamlight Images for another shoot. Now, being a fly on the wall this time, it was a different perspective, and watching him shoot Chris for his music business was equally as engaging. It started the same way with Paolo setting up the lighting, and really the more interesting part of all this was the discussion Paolo had about Chris and his life and what he does and his brand, really. And many people think about branding as a logo or a color palette, which are certainly components, but well, the bigger picture about branding is about how you want people to feel about you and your profession. Now, Chris wanted to elicit a calm approachability and also proficiency with all the different things he does with music. He's a composer, a teacher, a collaborator, a performer, and the gist of the conversation was really about the multifaceted music industry, and more specifically, a friendly approachability, not just to attract future clients, but also to his colleagues around the world. So let's take a look at some of Chris's photos. So I think Paolo did a great job. These are very nice and clean, approachable, and they just look great. They're nice and clear, and I think he pulled it off. So if you're not in Charleston and you don't plan on coming here, well, seek out the Paolo in your city. The process, it may seem daunting, but well, the result is something that you can use on a daily basis to speak volumes online about who you are and what you represent. So find a good portrait photographer. And if you think about it, we now have the ability to make thousands of first impressions every single week. And taking the time to give that some thoughtfulness and to ask someone to help you tell your story will only help your cause, in my opinion. So if you're here in town or if you're moving here, reach out to Paolo, reach out to some of the people that make this place great. Seek out a Million Cups event. Even if you don't have a business and you work a regular job, it's a great way to meet people and see all the good things and good people that are here. And really what it's like living here through a different lens. Pun intended there. Below, you'll find a link to Paolo's website at dreamlightimages.com, and there are also links to my real estate website and the Million Cups website too, and there's also Paolo's telephone number there. And while you're there, of course, please consider subscribing, commenting, and sharing this video. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And if you've worked with Paolo and you're watching this, chime in and let everyone know your thoughts. From my perspective, it was great. He's a nice guy, and he's a master of his craft. Thanks for being here, and we'll have a great day. Bye.